Hey, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about feeling guilty for having X feelings. So, when I work with clients, for instance, they'll often say to me, but I feel guilty for having this feeling. So, let's take one example. I had a client last week who, I can't remember, one of his parents or someone or another, he was angry. And he said to me, I feel guilty for these feelings. And often, people will not allow themselves to feel a feeling because they feel guilty for having the feeling. You see, the thing is, feeling guilty about a feeling and therefore not wanting to have that feeling doesn't make the feeling go away. It doesn't make it go away. All it does, it sends it back into the subconscious where we are being controlled. So for a moment, where does guilt come from? And what is guilt? So what guilt is a feeling of having, like you're doing something wrong. You're being bad. And often guilt is a tactic that is used by parents. They will make you feel guilty, right? But see, the thing with guilt is being driven by fear. And often religion, for example, they use, often across different religions they talk about sin. And you've sinned. So if you've sinned, then you're a bad person. So there is guilt. You've done something wrong. You've sinned. You're a bad person. But sin and guilt, and they're being used as measures of making us stay on the right track, do the good thing. But I believe that having lived this stuff for years and having taught it, there are two forces that are playing out. There's love and fear. And where does guilt come from? Guilt comes from a space of fear. So when we're being driven by not wanting to do anything bad, right? Not wanting to do wrong, what's being emphasized and focused upon in the subconscious is doing bad. Still the attention is on, I'm a bad person or I've done something wrong. And that is still driving you. So you're not actually adding something good into the world. What you're bringing is more fear. That's not helping. So feeling guilty about having a feeling doesn't make the feeling go away. And guilt in itself is just a feeling, right? So how do you handle feeling guilty about a feeling? So let's take an example of anger. You feel angry and then you feel guilty for having that anger. See, it's your duty to yourself to allow yourself to feel these feelings for the purpose of letting them go. So emotional acceptance is all about when you feel a feeling, you let that feeling go. So first of all, understand, wrong, being bad or doing something wrong or right, incorrect or correct, are just a figment of your imagination. What I mean by that, the wrong or right is created in the mind. There's no actual negative or positive in life, actually. Negative and positive, they're two ends of a spectrum. But what makes something more negative and positive is what the mind says. This is bad and that's good. It's not actual fact. It's your judgment of a situation. And the less we judge ourselves for the way we are, the more we can release ourselves of that condition, of that situation. So first thing is, when you feel guilty for having a feeling, allow yourself to feel the guilt. It's okay to feel guilty. And the same applies to letting guilt go, is to allow yourself to feel that feeling. Because often what you find is guilt is what prevents people from living their truth. Because they feel selfish, they feel guilty for living their truth, for following their heart. Well, it's selfish, it's self-centered. But actually, the more you live your truth, you not only liberate yourself, you liberate others. To not live your truth, to live from a space of guilt and therefore not living your truth. You keep yourself trapped and you keep others trapped. So therefore, if you don't release guilt, let it go. It controls you and you will not live your truth. Therefore, number one, when you feel guilty, allow yourself to feel the guilt. Don't get caught in the head around good or bad, wrong or right. Feel the feeling. And as you release the guilt more and more by feeling it, not getting stuck in that religious dogma that has made us go, oh, this is wrong and right, guilt, you know. Step two is you will then get to the feeling that you've been avoiding out of guilt. So it might be some sort of anger toward, and normally it's towards certain someone. And usually I find a lot of the times the guilt is to do, the guilt of not wanting to have the feeling, that feeling is towards our parents. Often it's towards our mum or dad, our mother or father. Allow yourself to feel the feeling. You're not acting on it, you feel the feeling. So one, feel the guilt. Second, feel the feeling that you've been avoiding out of guilt, beneath the guilt. Feel that feeling. So I hope that helps you. Ultimately, they're only feelings. They're not facts, they're only feelings. Feel the guilt and feel the feeling beneath the guilt. So what is the emotion, the feeling that you're avoiding beneath the guilt? What is that feeling that you've been avoiding? Because that feeling is controlling you unconsciously, subconsciously, and it's preventing you from living your truth. So feel. I'll add another exercise in this, that some sort of PDF, which you can go through and you can explore the feelings that you're avoiding out of guilt. We'll look at that. I'm here with you. From my heart to yours, love and blessings. See you in the next video. Thank you.